So you did mention about this a little bit, that the dearth of postdocs in India, right? And you did write an article for India Bioscience a while ago called "The Curious Case of the Indian Postdoc." Can you give us a brief synopsis, and then like the factors that triggered you to write the blog?
Right. So this was in 2015. My friend Megha, who was a colleague at NCBS, and I decided to host a small postdoc meeting at NCBS, known as the first postdoc symposium. We decided to get postdocs from ISC, JNCSR, Bangalore University, and NCBS, just to understand what kind of issues postdocs have and provide a platform for them to showcase their science. We invited faculty from all across India to this event to judge their science and to kind of have an open talk that, look, there are very few postdocs, but we still don't know what kind of career opportunities they have. There's a strong sense that there's postdocs who are returning from abroad are favored over postdocs who have done science in India. So what can we do about it? And the one thing that we heard unanimously there was that the faculties had not realized that there was a growing postdoc population in India. And that kind of took us unawares, because they were like, oh, now that we know that you're here, we'll try and address your problems. And we're like, that is crazy, because we have been here for a while now. And he always kept on saying that, look, we think that there is this perception that you are not hiring Indian postdocs, that you need to go outside to get a postdoc to find a job back in India. And the usual answer we got was, no, that is not true. There is no recruitment bias, etc., etc. So Megha and I thought, wait, hold on, we are scientists and we know what we need here. We need data. So we did a survey of MSc, BSc, and PhD students about what they felt, whether going outside was necessary, whether there was a recruitment bias against Indian postdocs, and we overwhelmingly saw that majority believed that you had to go outside. So, which was why we are creating this, we are training a lot of these PhD students who are then going outside to learn more, who are coming back as faculty. But then when you come back as faculty, you also have to do all of the other admin, and you've got all of these committees that you have to sit on. So you're not doing active lab work so much. Of the active lab work, you're again training PhD students who are again going to go outside. So that trained workforce, which should be in India and contributing to Indian science, is something that we are missing. And so that's why we wrote this article, to highlight the point that, look, if you want science to prosper in India, you need those trained people who actually come and do work. They can then do all part of their admin work, they can do training, they can do everything, but we are missing them somewhere. And I think as a follow-up to that, for the first time at the Postdoc Symposium last year, was the first time I heard someone admit that, okay, then there's seemingly a recruitment bias at least. But because we could present data and we could say, hey, look, everybody thinks there's a recruitment bias. So that's where the article came from.
Thanks for telling that, Shambhavi, and thanks for making the effort for the postdocs community there. And so I want to just ask a follow-up on that, what is, do you think, being done to address this issue? You know, the challenges are there, you understand what are the issues, but then on the scale of implementation, what do you think has been done to address it?
So the DBT is coming up with exciting new policies. There has been some attempt made to increase the duration of the postdoc itself as well. There's been some attempt made to create this new kind of scheme where a postdoc can then start becoming an independent researcher and have their own lab eventually. So we are seeing those things coming up. It will obviously take some time, because there are a lot of mindsets which are involved in the recruitment process, which will first need to change. We already know, for example, that a lot of the premier institutions prefer to hire people who are lower than 35 to the faculty position, and that is extremely difficult for an Indian postdoc to actually apply for, because by the time you do your PhD and then you do your postdoc and you get papers, I mean, if you're going to wait for a year for your sigma thing to turn up, then obviously you're not going to get a paper in 2 years. And I'm not signaling of sigma, so, right? Any reagent, right? It was going to take you 9. We actually, in one of my labs, we waited for 9 months for HPLC grade water to come. So you really cannot answer the viewers' questions in 3 months if you're not going to get stuff for 9 months. So